The government is expected to announce that we'll be able to hug each other as part of the next relaxation of lockdown rules in England on May the 17th. Our correspondent Sangita Myska is here. You can tell from my grin how happy I am about this. I'd rather have a hug than a holiday, as I said on the papers.
Not quite yet. I can't quite leave
No, I know.
I'm the best to give you a big hug. I mean, you're right. You said this to me earlier. This is probably the story of the day for most of the people around the country. Why? Because we know what a massive impact lockdown has had on people's mental health. Not being able to hug each other, not being able to see each other, not being able to kiss each other when we, have friends around, even in the garden. Could feel like a really massive turnaround for much of the country. But, and I hate to do this to you, Martine, I'm going to sound like everybody's mother here, cautious optimism is the way to treat this news. Do we have details? Not yet. This is why. There have been stories circulating in the papers this morning, and that was confirmed by Michael Gove today. And the line that the government is using is they would like to see intimate contact between family and friends restored. What does that mean? We have absolutely no idea until there's a press conference tomorrow. However, we can bring you what Michael Gove said on the Andrew Marr Show this morning.
The Prime Minister will confirm tomorrow that there will be a relaxation. We've already indicated a proportionate relaxation on international travel, very, very limited at this stage because we have to be safe. And in the same way as we move into stage 3 of our roadmap, it will be the case that we will see people capable of meeting indoors. And without prejudice to a broader review of social distancing, it is also the case that friendly contact, intimate contact between friends and family is something that we want to see restored.
From the 17th of May or thereabouts, hugging, as we call it.
Yes.
Michael Gove talking to Andrew Marr. We have to say it's not going to be compulsory when it comes back in, because there's been a horror for some people on social media that they're going to have to hug people. No, it won't be compulsory. But there's going to be some science behind this, I imagine, about what is going to be permissible and by whom.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was saying, so far, no solid details. But what we do know is what the government has been doing at each stage of raising restrictions is waiting for four weeks blocks so that they can assess the data and then see what happens. So we're expecting that press conference tomorrow. But needless to say, news organisations like us have been going out into the world and trying to get reaction. And we're already hearing from scientists who are involved in assessments that what they want to see tomorrow is something that is a very cautious move forward. So, for example, Professor Kath Noakes from the University of Leeds sits on the SAGE committee that has been advising the government. She's one of those voices that says, look, we have to do everything on a case-by-case basis, and the government is going to have to be crystal clear with the public about what they can do safely and what they can't. We can hear from her now.
We need to be a bit careful with that. I think it perhaps depends on who you're hugging. If you are hugging a grandparent, hugging a grandchild, and the grandparents are fully vaccinated, that's probably quite a low risk activity most of the time. But it would worry me if we were advocating we can hug all of our friends every time we meet them again, because I think that's going to perpetuate an awful lot of additional close contact that could still spread the virus.
Professor Kath Noakes from the University of Leeds. Sangita, thank you very much. I don't think I ever talked about hugging so much.
Listen, the next time we see each other, we might be able to.
We might be able to. She'll give you a big squeeze. Thank you very much. Sport now.